Good morning and welcome to the fresh edition of my live comments. India is always ravished by the most insignificant reasons. Small issues which have no relevance in the real world crop up and they become endemic and spread like an epidemic. Recently, one of the provinces in North India called Haryana and the government of that province, which is the same as that of the federal one, the BJP, issued an order which is very innocuous at the surface. And the order was that the Muslims shall not be permitted to hold Namaz prayers on the roads. They can hold them in the mosques, in Eidgahs, or private places, but not in public places. Now, apparently, it's very innocuous, but as I said, it has resulted in building up and fomenting communal tensions, where a small spark of fanaticism can be counterproductive. The social media started being bombed by the opposing factions, one upholding this order, the other criticizing it. And majority of the liberal, secular, or pseudo-secular people criticized it for one reason only, that this was impinging on the rights of the people. Now, as I said earlier, this order has certain implications. The first implication is, which any person should have, that roads are meant for traveling, it's meant for walking, they are meant for driving. They are not meant for holding prayers. And that's a fact of life. And yet, roads have been used not only in India, but in France and in England and in USA. Every Friday evening, you see thousands and thousands of the people come in, sit on the roads, hold up the traffic, and hold prayers. So, the order of the premier, and they call him the chief minister in India, appears to be perfectly in commune with the use of the place. Road is a place, as I said, for movement, not for standing still or holding up the traffic. That disturbs a normal life. And why not use those public places which in no way affect the common people? Now, I'm myself amazed, and I've always been against all religion and the religious events taking place in the public places. When I was in India, I was horrified at times to see 3 days so-called holy congregations gathering together and putting out of circuit the normal life. The police force would be concentrated there and nothing would happen that could have more traction. Traffic holdups were common, rerouting of the people, so all that was there. Then there are processions taken out at the births of the religious leaders, and even that disrupts. Now, this gives me a thought. Prayer is something very personal. So why should they not pray in their homes or in their shops if the time is such? Why do it as a communal, say social exercise? And if they want to hold a social exercise, as all temples, churches, synagogues, masjids, and gurdwaras are, let them do it in that place. Those places have been used since time immemorial. There is no reason for them to come down there. Now, there's another thing which they are saying, that they are not sufficiently large enough to accommodate all. Okay, let them go in the public parks. Let a fee be charged, because going to the public park would not in any way impede the traffic. It will not cause a pain in the neck to the people who are traveling. It will not stop the ambulances from ferrying the patient to the hospital. It will not delay the office goer coming home or the school children coming home. In fact, it will not impact the civil life. Let them go to the parks. And since parks at that time would not be permitted to be used by the ordinary users, let them pay a nominal fee for the use of the park. There's another thing. Why only ban Muslims from holding prayers? Why not stop all religious events? All religious events, let's be honest, let's be really secular and equidistant from all religions. Why the Sikhs should hold their processions on a working day? And when that procession takes place, the whole life is thrown out of gear. Why should the Prabhat fairies take place on the working days? Why should the religious congregations spread over time in public places, disrupting the traffic? Let it be very clear. There are three things that can be done. A, no such event would be held, even in a public place, except on a holiday. B, it should not be policed by the police, and let the holders of those parades and congregations pay the police and the municipality for the use. It's very simple. Police is a public servant. It is to maintain law and order. But if a private individual wants to hire the police or a group, then let them pay for it. And that's what's happening here in Canada. You are building a house and you want to stop the traffic from coming in, you call the police, but you pay the police. Why should the public exchequer be burdened for one community or for one group of people? It's meant for the use of all, not for one group. And when one group wants to do it, let them pay for it. So what Khattar should have done is, he should have said, okay, hold it in a park and we'll charge you a nominal fee, as it would be for any other activity. B, since you are holding a public meeting and there can be danger of law and order being fractured or broken, we have to have a police. So many police officers, and the payment for that would be so much. Let the people deposit that money up front and hold the event not on a road, but on a public place. I saw in the social media some people offering their own religious place for the holding of the Namaz. That's perfectly okay. As a matter of fact, all the groups combined can hold or build one place, the prayer meet, which can be used alternately for the people who make the prayers. Let it be used for the namaz purpose when the namaz is being read, and let it be used for holding the aartis and the rath jagratas, the night-long awakening, disturbing neighborhoods, or the jagrans when they pray to the goddesses and the gods for the whole night, with the noise pollution crossing all limits. And those Sant Samagams, the congregations of the holy men, let all, it's place of a Hyde Park, that sort of a Hyde Park where this sort of activity should be permitted but on payment, which should include both the rental and payment to the law and order forces. I know the fanatics and the advocates of religious freedom are going to crib about it. They want everything to be given to them on a platter. But today, let's not forget, more than 50% people in the world, and also in India, are atheists and agnostic. They don't care. So why should they be burdened with celebration of something for which sometimes 10%, sometimes 20%, sometimes 30% of the people are in favor? It's undemocratic. So, the action of the Premier of Haryana in India is fraught with danger because this is not equitable. What he should have done is not ban namazes, but ban all religious activity on the roads, all religious activity. The plea of saying that when you hold a namaz on a road and stop the traffic is also applicable to holding a procession on a working day and disrupting profit. You cannot hunt with the hounds and run with the hare. And India is a secular democratic country. And not only that, even the civil right, the right of equality is ingrained in all the countries today, except in absolutely theocratic countries, except in the most backward of the countries. I may not talk of them being backward economically, but backward intellectually. So what is required is A, banning all religious activity on the roads. Absolutely, without any fear, without any favor. B, let them be permitted to use the public parks or empty spaces on payment. C, the local police and order must be maintained, and for that they should be charged, because the police is at present funded by the public exchequer, by the taxpayer. And the taxpayer of one community should not go to protect other communities' specialized event. Well, let's say meant for all is fine, but it's for a group, for a sect, for a religion. There's a limited number, and they should make an equitable payment. And if they can spend thousands and thousands of dollars or rupees on holding such events, which are in fact a windfall for them, why should they not contribute? And the people who are prayer should also contribute. Well, they are being given a place to pray without cost of building up a structure. So this way, being equitable and not being economically burdensome to the people can be the way out. At the same time, the people who are affected by this order of the Chief Minister of Haryana should realize that roads were not built for praying. Let's be very clear about that. They are not meant to propagate a religion or to pray. They are meant for the movement of goods and people. And if something impedes that, that has to be ensured that such impediment is removed. And Khattar has done that. However, he has erred that he has not been honest and by making it applicable everywhere. Let it have a universal applicability Otherwise, this can prove to be a minor addition to the tinderbox and which can cause an explosion later on. So you need to tackle these things dispassionately, without fear and without favor. Let's not be blinded to the fact that religion is a fundamental right of an individual. I am not religious, but I'll uphold anybody's right to pray the way he or she wants. At the same time, your freedom ends, your freedom to swing your arm ends where my nose begins. And in case I have to protect my nose from being bled, I have to ensure that you don't swing your arm so much. At the same time, a sense of equity has to be maintained. And what I have outlined, which can be completely worked out as a plan, would be ideal solution to this issue, which can otherwise be quite explosive. Thank you.